schools should teach intelligent design alongside the theory of evolution. Hume levels several objections. How can anything be said to be analogous to a one-off entity like the universe? Aren't there equally compelling analogies? For example, the universe resembles an animal at least as closely as it does an object of human design that would lead us to different conclusions about its origin. Even if we established the existence of a human-like designer God, what would make one think that this designer is the traditional Judeo-Christian God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? My head swam. I was fascinated by philosophy and went on to major in it. Insofar as I had thought about it at all, I guess I had more or less relied on the argument from design to underlie my faith. One would think that, scrambled as my head was by Hume, I would have rethought my plan to go to divinity school, but I didn't. Probably because one evening I sat up all night and read Paul Tillich's The Courage to Be from start to finish. Tillich describes faith as something more like concern and courage than belief in unbelievable statements. Along with my Jewish atheist BFF, Danny Klein, I signed up for Tillich's course on the philosophies and religions of the Hellenistic period. Danny's scientist father exclaimed, "I'm paying all this money for you to take a theology course?" Harvard tuition at the time was $1,250 a year. The next year, I went on to the University of Chicago Divinity School, where shortly afterward, Tillich came to fill out the remainder of his career. I like to say Tillich followed me to the University of Chicago. Needless to say, I took every course of his I could. At the end of my second year, I dropped out after it became clear that I was not being called to pastoral ministry. The truth of atheism. Here is the situation as I now see it. Most critiques of faith by people outside the church, and those of us on the borderline, seem to be reactions to the mythology of Christianity, the system of beliefs eventually codified into doctrines, and in some cases into dogma. This mythology supposedly defines what Christians should, or at the dogma end of the scale, must believe in order to call themselves Christians. Many atheists, as well as some interesting new associations of disillusioned dropout ministers, start from the premise that in the 21st century, these beliefs are simply no longer believable. I agree. My only point of dissent, at least on a good day, is that I don't think these beliefs represent the essence of Christianity. In the latter part of the 20th century, the so-called New Atheists attacked these beliefs as basically irrational, non-scientific holdovers from a pre-scientific age. Among these beliefs are creation of the world by a supernatural being, a supposedly omnipotent and loving God who apparently tolerates undeserved misery, miracles, particularly so-called nature miracles, the notion that this supernatural being had a pre-existing son, the virgin birth, the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth, the resurrection of all or some of the rest of us, the sacrificial death of Jesus of Nazareth as atonement, payment for our sins, the second coming of Christ, the church as an institution called out of the world, the subordination of women, prejudice against gay, lesbian, and gender non-conforming persons, the efficacy of intercessory prayer, and the belief that Christianity is the one true religion. Many of these are among the beliefs that no longer resonate with members of the Clergy Project, an online forum and support group for religious professionals who have discovered that they are no longer able to believe in God. The Clergy Project was founded by people like John Compeer, a fifth-generation Southern Baptist minister, in 2011. Today it has 900 members and includes both rabbis and imams. Most of them have left their church positions, although a significant number continue to work in the church. A few